Shows Phil Hartman and Chris Farley sitting in chairs in a TV studio. Hartman: Hello, I'm Il Fartman, and welcome back to our 8th installment of what we now call SNL's Passionate Pundits, where each week one of our 6 passionate pundits will critique the last SNL episode. Joining us this week is Conrad Farthington, a former video store clerk with encyclopedic knowledge of the show in living color, as well as a working man's knowledge of SNL. Welcome, Conrad. Farley: Thanks for having me. Hartman: So, what did you think of the cold open? Farley: I didn't appreciate it being so heavy-handed about Christmas. I would have preferred they make reference to the holiday season instead. It's not 1997 anymore. Hartman: So I take it you prefer things to be a little more politically correct. Farley: Yeah. For those people complaining about PC culture now, I hope you know we've only begun to fight. A decade from now, saying Christmas will be worse than calling the homosexual the F word. That being said, Cecily complained about Elon Musk, which was great since he's trying to destroy the holiday season with misinformation. And Sarah and Ego joining Keenan, Cecily, and Bowen for some singing was nice to see. Hartman: How about the monologue featuring the host, Steve Martin Short? Farley: It was actually 2 hosts, Steve Martin and Martin Short. Hartman: Oh, that's right. My apologies. So how did you like the monologue with the 2 comedy legends, Steve... Farley: Martin. Hartman: Right, and... Farley: Martin Short. Jeez. Anyway, other than the lack of diversity, the monologue was fantastic. It was great seeing the 2 of them bounce barbs off one another and talk about their prior times hosting SNL, even if they still are white males. I could have gone without the dick in the box reference, though, as said reference sexualizes men, which is dangerous for society. And I did like seeing Selena Gomez make a cameo, which helped cease the lack of diversity on stage before she came on. Hartman: What did you think of the first sketch after the monologue, The Science Room? Farley: Well, this sketch showed exactly what's wrong with society. Not 1, but 2 teachers obsessing over the white students at the exclusion of students of color. Surely Bowen, Keenan, Ego, Punky, Marcelo, or Devin could have been in the classroom as well, and it could have shown the regress of whiteness by understanding the scientific concepts. Hartman: And for the record, you yourself are white, right? Farley: By genetic makeup only. I prefer to associate with people of color and require having ethnic and racial diversity in my life. Hartman: And is that why you have your guest with you? Shows Denitra Vance with her arms folded, legs crossed, and chewing gum sitting next to Farley. Farley: That is correct. Hartman: What did you think of the Please Don't Destroy video? Farley: Well, if you include the Zoom call, there were 24 people in the video, with all of 3 of them being non-white. That's not good enough. Hartman: Well, did you think it was funny? Farley: As funny as I found it to be, the whitewash makes it hard to focus on any other narrative, other than 2 men bashing a woman in a chauvinistic manner. Yuck. Hartman: There may have been a lot of whites, but at least many of them were Jewish. Farley: That's fair. I apologize to the Jewish people I offended. Sometimes I forget they're discriminated against as well, despite looking white. Hartman: Very good. And what did you think of the holiday train sketch? Farley. Well, the sketch was only batting 200 in terms of diversity, but then the animalizing of the bears was so barbaric. Hartman. The animalizing of the bears. Farley. To animalize is to minimize animals' existence to that of mere animals, and not providing them with their humanity is insulting to animals. Hartman. To be fair, the bears literally appear to be human. Farley. That's true, but to have them hibernate like that? That's like showing a clip of Hispanics playing soccer or African Americans playing basketball. It was insulting. Hartman. Okay. How about the Santa sketch? Farley. 5 of the 6 extras were ethnically diverse, which was relieving. It allowed me to appreciate the humor of the sketch, even though they didn't have a black Santa. But Marty was fantastic as the angry elf. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that having a Santa sketch on top of the cold open is really aggressive to those of us who don't celebrate Christmas. I didn't see any Kwanzaa sketches. Hartman, what did you think of the Christmas Carol video? Farley. Was it hilarious seeing people's eyes get gouged out with coins? Yes. But it's pugnacious to harken back to the 19th century when there was still slavery. And on top of it, hitting us over the head again with Christmas. It's like they're trying to force us to be Christian. Hartman, what did you think of Brandi Carlile's performance? Farley. Can you believe conservatives complain about SNL? It was a white girl playing country music. Thank goodness she had a tie on, or I would have turned the program off for its red wave. Hartman, how about Weekend Update? Farley. I don't like how they poked fun at President Biden, but love that they went after cinema, that crazy stupid bitch. And they mentioned Raphael Warnock's victory, which made my heart sing. I loved Eggo's performance and thought it was hilarious, except she inexcusably said that she couldn't do her same acts to get good deal shopping if she were white, because there'd be video and she'd lose her job. Black people, I assume, get stopped by mall security merely for darting their eyes, let alone for acting strange. Hartman. So are you telling a black person, Eggo, what it means to be black? Farley. Oh God, no. Eggo can say whatever she wants. I rescind my last statement, okay? She's right. But then when Chloe and Mikey came out, I hate to say it because she's a woman, but I don't think Chloe should be doing impressions anymore. Hartman. You don't want impression virtuoso Chloe Fineman to do impressions anymore? Farley. No. In fact, I don't think any white people should do any impressions anymore because it's racist for them to impersonate someone who is non-white, but that means that they can only impersonate white people, which means they can't have a diverse set of impressions. It's a tough call, but no more impressions from white people. Hartman. Moving on from Weekend Update, what did you think of the Minky Carmichael sketch? Farley. As PC as I am, Heidi looked damn good, you know what I mean? And it was wonderfully funny to see a chauvinistic man's penis do him in versus a woman. It was glorious. Hartman. Okay, and I assume you're still mad that Brandi Carlile is white and sings country. So let's move on to the final sketch, Father of the Bride, Part 8. Farley. I gotta say, Heidi makes me want to drop all my PC-ness and just bend her right over. But I thought it was super funny, to have the father of the bride daughter be going on her 8th wedding. And the Kieran Culkin cameo was so great. Hartman, so any final thoughts? Farley, even though this episode had its aggressive moments, with such a great host duo and a great cast, it was a home run. And Dead from the Earth, we're not alive. It's Saturday Not Alive, starring John Belushi, Chris Farley, Phil Hartman, Jen Hooks, Norm MacDonald, Gilda Radner, Danitra Vance, and many other special deceased contributors. Musical guest, Roy Orbison, and your host, Luke Perry. Everybody, Luke Perry. Applause, applause, applause. Perry. Thank you, thank you. It's great to be here hosting. I had a wonderful acting career, known mostly for my role as Dylan on the hit show Beverly Hills 90210. Applause, applause, applause. Helen Slayton Hughes comes out. Perry. Helen Slayton Hughes from Parks and Recreation, everybody. Applause, applause, applause. Slayton Hughes. Luke, can I ask you a question? Perry. Of course, Helen. Go right ahead. Slayton Hughes. Can you tell me why, in God's name, you didn't choose Brenda, but instead went with Kelly? Perry. Helen, I didn't write the script for 90210, but I can see the pros and cons from either side. Soccer journalist Grant Wall comes out. Perry. Everyone, please welcome soccer journalist Grant Wall, who tragically passed away while covering the World Cup. Applause, applause, applause. Wall. Hey, Luke, can I ask you something? Perry. Sure, Grant, go ahead. Wall. Why didn't they ever show Dylan and his friends playing soccer? It's the #1 sport in the world. Perry. Well, Grant, like I told Helen, I didn't write the scripts for 90210. But I agree. There should have been more soccer involved. Paul Silas comes out. Perry. Folks, please welcome basketball legend, 3-time NBA champion Paul Silas. Applause, applause, applause. Silas. Hey, Luke. Mind if I ask you a question? Perry. Let me just say, Paul, that I didn't write Silas. Yes or no? Can I ask you a question? Perry. Go ahead, Paul. My apologies. Silas. Why the hell wasn't Dylan playing more basketball? You leaving it all to Brandon? What's wrong with you? Perry. Paul, all I can say is I didn't write the scripts for 90210. If I had, there would have been more black people. Or basketball. There would have been more basketball. Sorry about that. Silas. If there had been more basketball, there would have been more black people. Perry. That's probably true, Paul. Thank you. Folks, I'm getting word there's a few thousand more people waiting to ask me questions, where I have to tell them I didn't write the script for 90210. But as soon as I take care of that, we have a great show for you tonight. Roy Orbison is here. So get ready for a pretty woman. We'll be right back.